tifu by putting my job before my wife while her grandfather-in-law is on his deathbed. For context, my 28M wife, 31F, has some significant physical disabilities on top of serious anxiety and PTSD, which has made it difficult for her to find and hold down a job. Even working from home or doing side gigs has not been fruitful. She only recently got full-time, temp to hire work while I've been holding the fort for nearly a year with my job and DoorDash. We have a lot of expenses to cover: rent, utilities, student loans, groceries, stuff for our cats, credit card bills, car repairs, a friend's wedding we RSVP'd to and a gift for said wedding. And our savings are nearly gone from us being in the red so often despite it all. Our days are demonstrably numbered if only one of us is working, even with how much I make. This has led me to some serious work first tendencies that are hard to shake. Also, we have only one car and I'm the only one with a license, so I need to take her to and from work. Anyway, the incident. My wife's grandfather is on his deathbed, and she needs me there for emotional support when she says goodbye. Her family has a long and documentable history of abuse, but she wants to be the bigger person basically. Last night I called my supervisor, told him about the situation and that I don't know how this will affect my schedule this week, and he just said to keep him posted as soon as I hear anything. My wife tried everything to reach her boss, even driving back to her workplace several towns over, and still didn't hear back. Because we didn't hear back from her boss, we didn't know if she was still required to come in today. So I woke up assuming it was business as usual just to be safe. I got dressed, fed the cats, etc. while waiting for her. She came into the kitchen still in her PJs waiting to hear back from her boss, at a time when normally she would be ready, and let me know to put her lunch back in the fridge for later. Only then did I realize, shit, she really is out today. I called my supervisor as we came out the door to let him know I would be late coming in. Then the argument started. She thought I called out of work already. I told her I still need to go into work to make ends meet regardless of what happens. She said that it didn't matter and that I need to be there for her emotionally. I had also put my new job first when her other grandfather passed away, but she mostly let it go since I was still establishing myself there. I offered to call my boss up and tell him I need an emergency day off, but she said the damage with her was already done because I had failed to listen the first time. We kept going back and forth until we got to her workplace. While she was in there, true to my word, I called my supervisor back. In my haste to rectify the situation I had said the GFIL had died, and I don't know if that will come back to bite me on Thursday, see below. Either way he said it was no problem. My wife came back to the car, saying she had caused a scene when she broke down crying and is worried this will affect how others in the office will perceive her, but said her coworkers could vouch for her. Following a silent trip home, my mother-in-law, one of the only decent people from her side of the family, currently staying with us for a few weeks, was confused to see us, thought we would be at work, and tells us we're unable to see the GFIL until Thursday anyway. So not only was what I did thoughtless, not only do I need to ask for Thursday off as well, what we went through this morning was ultimately futile. My wife and I ended up in another argument where she said I cared more about money than our marriage. Part of me thinks she may be right. This wasn't the first time. In October 2020 our new cat got a small laceration on his toe. She had to bring him to the vet. I couldn't call out of work. I had to have my best friend drive her that morning. Our cat turned out okay, but she still needed me there for emotional support and I couldn't be there because, as the sole breadwinner even back then, I put making money first. She has never let me forget that. But I remember one day back in May 2017, a few months after we started dating, she was getting thrown out of her father's home. As soon as she messaged me, I immediately called out of work and came to her rescue, consequences be damned. Sure, I was living with my parents at the time, but I am clearly not the same person I was back then. I really doubt just how selfless or emotionally mature I actually am, especially compared to back then. When so much of yourself changes over time, does your partner still love the same person? For her sanity and mine, I think I need to seriously consider getting a separation before I do any real, permanent damage. I've come too close to that before. TLDR. Father-in-law is dying. We don't know exactly when. Wife took work off to see him. I let my boss know what was going on. Due to miscommunication and my failure to listen, I did not explicitly ask for the day off until this morning. Things blew up because I prioritized money. There is a precedent where I did the same thing, but when we first started dating I did the right thing in a similar situation, and I'm considering bowing out with what dignity I still have left.